Hello, everyone. Shuckax123 here, uh, and this is our pretty intense battle with the creator of the GTL, C.MeaX. Um, and today I just want to show you guys my team. I am taking this pretty, relatively serious, but at the same time, I kind of feel like trolling. So, just take a look at my sets. C.MeaX is doing a team builder over on his side. So we're about to start whenever he finishes. We have my Shaman. I have Life Orb Shaman with Rest. Rest synergizes with the natural cure ability. So hopefully I can get quite a big amount of damage off on his team. Dazzling Gleam's there for his High Dragon. If he brings it, Earth Power has a chance to one-shot his Mega Manectric, which he, unfortunately for him, got from losing for Lev. And then Seed Flare hits basically everything else on his team. Um, it two shots almost everything if it doesn't one shot it. So that's that's going to be our primary offense. That and our Jolteon. Jolteon, this is our handicap for the week. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Signal Beams, pretty much all we needed out of it. Originally, I had Shadow Ball on there too with Mail, but I thought Focus Sash might be better. I don't anticipate him really bringing entry hazards. So this is going to be our failsafe against the Gyarados. You see we are Jolly nature. We will outspeed I think it's a Jolly Gyarados at +1. Either Jolly or Adamant, one of the two. Um, so yeah, hopefully Jolteon can outspeed it even if his Gyarados gets +1. If it gets anything past that, that's what the Sash is there for. We got my Caesar, especially defensive Caesar, eats up everything it seems like. Sometimes you'll even live Fire Blast, crazy enough. But Sword Stance, Bullet Punch, that that's gonna be our go-to. Bug Bite is there in case the Mew becomes a problem. And then we have Roost because, as you'll see, basically everything on my team has recovery besides Jolteon. So we already saw Shaman has Rest. Caesar has Roost. Uh, Latias, I have Recover on it because I like Recover more than Roost. Um, but this set is the Calm Mind set. Psyshock to beat his Calm Mind Clefable if he brings it. Um, Dragon Pulse at +1 with this set will one-shot a High Dragon and then recover to recover. Colbur Berry's there for Lipard or High Dragon, or if he brings Knockoff, which I feel like he might do on his Mew or Clefable. Anti, we have Lumberry. Lumberry is more or less there to get our first status absorber early on, and if not, then it falls nice with our Rest. We have Rest, Sleep, Toxic, Sacred Fire. This is here purely to stall him out because in weeks past, playtesting with him was torture because his Clefable would stall you out, and I would have to try and PP stall him. Well, with our pressure ability, this actually makes it so we PP stall very, very nicely. Sacred Fire hits a lot on his team. Most notably, it hits his Virizion, which outspeeds everything on our team outside of Jolteon. Jolteon doesn't really touch it that well, so Virizion's kind of a problem. Uh, I told him he should bring it, tried to play those mind games with him, so hopefully that works. Oh, and lastly, looks like the battle's just about to start. We have Manaphy, Calm Mind, Scald, Rest, Rain Dance. This set, at +1, his Mega Manectric should not be able to do half. So hopefully this looks good. Let's get into our team matchup. Um, it looks like we predicted his entire team. Yeah, we Got his entire team predicted over here on the side, so I don't have to change anything. That's nice. So it looks like we're about to start. Now right here, I see he doesn't have Virizion, so I'm pretty happy about that. He does have the Arcanine. I think it's gonna be Flash Fire for the Entei, but if not, then he has 3 Intimidators, which kind of sucks to face. But as for a lead, I'm gonna lead off. I think I might lead off with Jolteon. His Manectric can come in for the Lightning Rod boost, but I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. I could lead with my Entei, but he has a lot for the Entei. Yeah, I'm going to lead with my Jolteon. His team, I'm afraid of the defensive stall of Clefable. I'm afraid of his Gyarados. And then his Mew can be a little scary, I guess. His lead, I think he might lead with the Mew. He might lead with Hydreigon. If he leads with Hydreigon, we'll see what kind of a set it is. Those are my 2 predictions, honestly. One of those 2. So looking at his team, I really think Shaman can put in a lot of work. Shaman might be my best lead. I don't know. But if this game lasts quite a long time, that's kind of on me, kind of on him. He's notorious for his long battles and like his long time in between turns, really testing the other person's commentary skills. He said that's how he was going to get in my head. So, we did clinch playoffs this match. If we 6-0 C.MeaX, he has a chance to not make the playoffs if Adam wins like with a 3-0. So if that ends up happening, then sorry C.MeaX, but Adam needs it. Oh, okay. Oops. So it looks like I messed up my Caesar. We'll change that real quick. It shouldn't be a problem. Technician, Bullet, Punch, Bug Bite, Sword Stance, Roost. That's round. Roost. 248, 252. Careful Nature, 8 in attack. And select a team, GTL week 7. And okay, it looks like we're good. So now we'll get into the game. I might put a timestamp or something for when the battle starts because of that delayed. Yeah. So as I said, nothing really changes. I think I'm gonna lead off with my Jolteon. I just want to get a Volt Switch off. I think Manectric does get Lightning Rod, so that's a little bit of a problem, but I I'm not sure if he would actually switch in. So we're just waiting on him, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking up right now what Manetrix. Yeah, it gets lightning rod. So I might not want to lead off with Jolteon. Um, Instead, I could lead with my Shaman. I would be afraid of the Arcanine, but I could just switch out. I'm going to lead out with my Entei. Entei seems like a decent lead against everything. Hydreigon could be a bit of a threat, but we are especially defensive Entei, so that should be fine. Our biggest threat is going to be if he leads off with the Gyarados. If he leads off the Gyarados, he could Waterfall. That would put a lot of pressure on us. I would probably just stay in and go for the Sacred Fire, hope for a burn. And if I didn't get that burn, then oh well. Um, so leading off with Entei, we'll find out whether or not his Arcanine is Flash Fire or Intimidate, because I would anticipate any of his other Pokemon he would switch out. I think I could just hit him up with the Toxic, which could cripple his Clefable, which I anticipate to be unaware based off of my playstyle. If he brought Magic Guard, then it's great for me. And looking at his team, 4 of them are guys. Looks like he just likes to have Clefable be there by itself. So C.MeaX seems to be struggling to choose his lead as well. That makes me think that he does not have a Choice Scarf U-turn Hydreigon, at least, because normally that is a very safe lead. He might be debating whether or not to go into his Manectric. Manectric could Volt Switch, but Jolteon does outspeed turn 1. So this is a nice intro. But yeah, as I said earlier, not really that concerned with winning the game. I kind of just want to mess with C.MeaX, but of course, winning is always nice. I'm not gonna let him win at all. I'm gonna go for the 6-0 if the 6-0 presents itself. Hoping Adam would be really nice. We lead off with Entei. We see he leads off with his Hydreigon. So he sees my pressure. Doesn't really reveal anything special. And right here, I'm going to go for a Sacred Fire. Not going to predict anything. If his Arcanine is Flash Fire, then that is actually very good for us. If he stays in, goes for a Dark Pulse, he'll see that we are especially defensive Entei. If he drops a Draco, we could probably just rest it off. I'm not really sure how he feels about this. I feel like he's gonna expect me to switch. Me and C.MeaX have a lot of mind games with each other because we've played each other so many times. As he says, you gotta predict that the other person is predicting. And then predict based off of that prediction. So I'm just gonna click Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire hits everything on his team except for the Arcanine if it is Flash Fire. He just drops a Draco. It does 69%. And we go for a Sacred Fire. We get the burn. I want to see if that is Choice Specs, because that did a lot of damage to our Entei. I'm going to check real quick. Entei. blank set. 252, 252, Careful Nature, High Dragon, Wall Breaker, a Draco Meteor. A Life Orb Draco Meteor cannot hit that damage. He is in fact choice specs. He has to be specs. And at -2, he does kill us. Entei can come in on like when something dies, rest off, which is nice. Here I'm gonna go out into my Caesar. Yeah, I'm just gonna hard switch out into Caesar. He might predict that and switch out into his Arcanine, but I'm not sure. Usually C.MeaX has the habit of clicking his move and then waiting 5 seconds. If he waits those 5 seconds and nothing happens, then he will cancel his move and start to over predict. So right here, I actually think he will switch, but I don't want to sack my Entei off because Entei is a crucial part of this team. It's good to know that our Shaman will outspeed this Hydreigon because he, being specs, we will outspeed. So Shaman, if we can get Shaman in at the end game, T-Pain will not be a problem anymore. I believe we do like 60 or 70% to Arcanine, so we do need to whittle that down a little bit. I think we do 60 or 70% to Gyarados with Seed Flare or something like that. These are just off the top of my head. And we do about half to Clefable and Mew. So overall, this lead, I'm not that mad about it. It's nice to know that he is specs. I got into my Caesar. He drops another Draco. He sees that it does 20. It does the 23%. Right here, I do want to get my Mega off because it will give me quite a bit of bulk. And I am going to go for a Bug Bite as he goes into Arcanine. We see he's Intimidate. That's great for us because that means he can't really do that much. He's Rocky Helmet, which that's annoying. And I feel like he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp right here. I'm going to go out into my... I'm going to go out into my Entei. I don't think he has speed investment. So if we can live one hit, we should be fine. Of course, there is always the risk of an extreme speed. But I don't think C.MeaX would run E-Speed Arcanine. I feel like he's going to be a bulky Stally set with his Arcanine. I could go into Manaphy right here. Manaphy would put on a lot of pressure to his team, but I still don't know whether Clefable is unaware or Magic Guard. So I'm going to go out into Entei. He goes for Bulldoze. He gets the prediction. He gets the crit, and we die. So here I'm going to go out into my Manaphy. I feel like Manaphy. This is a perfect time for Manaphy. I'm going to go for the Calm Mind. He could be afraid of my Tail Glow. If he's a modest Manectric, then timid Manaphy would outspeed him. So that's always a threat. He might go into his Manectric. He might hard switch in right here. He goes into his Clefable. So a Manaphy versus a Clefable. We are 0. We are +1. A Scald should do about 35%. but if he's unaware, then we'll do like 20%. So right here, I'm gonna go for a Scald. We will outstall this at the very least because Rest has pretty high PP. I'm gonna go for a Scald. It does 25%. We see he is that cancer set. So right here, I could go out into Caesar, but I know he's gonna carry Fire Blast. I'm gonna set up a rain dance. Knowing that he's not Calm Mind though, that's nice for us. We know how much damage he'll be able to do, and I'm gonna get this rain dance going. If we do crit him in the rain, it's nice. Back to our calc. In the rain, we will do like up to 35%. He has Cosmic Power. If he has Toxic, we actually just outstall him altogether. So it won't really matter that much. I really should have saved my Entei for this Clefable because it was the one thing on my team that had Toxic. That was a big misplay. It's very unfortunate. If I would have gone out into Manaphy, hard switch onto the Arcanine, would have been a lot better for me. But you win some, you lose some. I'm just waiting for C.MeaX to decide what he's going to do. I'm going to set up the Rain Dance. He goes for a Cosmic Power. Here, I'm going to go for a Scald. Unaware Clefable is one of the most annoying things ever. But the way he has it set up, he won't have the damage to kill my stuff. He brought Minimize. Oh, gosh. This is going to be a tough game now. I'm going to go for Scald. Hopefully we can get the burn pretty soon so before he becomes unhittable. We keep hitting. We still don't get the burn. He has Moonlight, which our Rain Dance actually does help a lot against. Whew. Because Rain Dance will make it so that only does like 33%. So right here, I'm going to go for another Rain Dance. We still can't get a burn. Right here, I'm going to set up my Manaphy all the way to +6s. Okay, we see he has stored power. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to go for Scald here. We do outspeed, so we can stall this thing pretty hard. We get the burn. That's very great for us. Actually, I'm going to see how much a bulky Caesar takes. We are careful nature. Clefable, I would guess he has no investment. I'm going to see how much a stored power does. Stored power, he has +4 in each. His stored power should only do like 16%. I'm going to go for Scald one more time. Wait, actually, yeah, I'll go for Scald. So he's going to Moonlight. I'm wondering if I can outstall it with my Manaphy. He gets 43% off. Here, I'm just going to rest. Rest has more PP than his stored power does. So I think we will be able to stall this out if we need. Gonna go for Scald again. Getting the burn, if we would have got it earlier, that would have been very nice for us. We see he is going to go for maxes. I'm going to go for Scald again. As I said earlier, this is the most annoying thing on his team. If he's at +6, he should be doing about 20% to our Caesar. Which that's nothing. Okay, I'm gonna go out into Caesar. Caesar walls this. Here I'm going to Roost. We'll see how much damage he does. I'm very happy he does not have the Fire Blast. So yeah, we'll see that does like 20-some%. At +6, how much are we doing to, let's say, an Arcanine? At +6, our Bullet Punch only does 40%. So that's unfortunate. I'm just gonna go for a Bullet Punch. We actually hit. He goes for stored power again. Here I'm gonna Roost. I want to get to the point where this Clefable literally cannot do anything to me. So I'm actually very happy I brought Spadef Caesar because it does handle this Clefable. I'm going to go for a Roost. So his Clefable, because we were able to get the Scald Burn, I don't see a way that it's going to beat us. But it is going to wear us down, for sure. If I would have brought Knockoff Caesar, which I thought about doing, would have been quite a bit better. But, yeah. Oh, well. Okay, so he's just going to keep going for stored powers. A crit will only do, like, what, 40%? So. I'm going to see if our Latias will actually take less. Because Clefable +6. +6. Okay, so at +6s with stored power. He's doing about 23%. To our Latias. This is close enough. To our Latias, he should be doing about the same amount. So, I don't know. Oh, I'm dumb. I just noticed that we outspeed is Clefable. Here, I'm going to go out into Latias. I want to end this stall. It does 32%. We will outspeed. He can't hit us with anything else. I'm going to start setting up Calm Minds. Go Calm Mind, recover, Calm Mind, recover. We'll get to the point where we'll one-shot the rest of his team after this stall with Clefable. It has 3 Moonlights left. It'll only have 8 more stored powers. So, I think that we'll end up being fine. If we get crit, that's going to suck, but oh well. Because this is leftovers, we know Arcanine's Rocky Helmet. Kind of wondering what the rest of his team is. C.MeaX really loves to bring these stalls. So. Guess I should have anticipated it. But since we know his set, we know our set, we should be fine. So yeah, we have 80 special attack. We don't have stored power. We have Dragon Pulse and Psyshock. So if we did land a Psyshock, we'd only be doing 8% unless we crit, which we would then be doing like 40%. For me, I'd rather not. I'd rather just get set up, be able to kill the rest of his team. We know that Hydreigon is specs, so we will outspeed it with our Latias spread because we will outspeed Mew. We should be able to outspeed everything on his team besides his Manectric. I think he realizes that I can just set up and out heal his annoying damage. He's going to go for stored power. It does 29%. Here, I'm going to go for a recover. So yeah, this is one of those matches that I kind of wanted to avoid, but I envisioned happening. We see he goes into his Troublemaker. That's his Mew. So a Mew, we are at +1. A Dragon Pulse does like 30-some%. I'm not sure what he's gonna go for. So I'm going to set up another Calm Mind. He might Nasty Plot here. He goes for Knockoff, and we have a Colbur Berry. That's nice for us. We're at +2 now. His Knockoff's only going to do like 20-some%. I'm going to go for another Calm Mind. You could say I'm starting to get greedy. If he's... Okay, if we don't have an item... That's about a max roll for him. Here, I'm going to recover. I think Knockoff might be his best move. He's a bulk upset. Okay. So at +3, how much are we doing? We should be two-shotting him with Dragon Pulse. It's just about 2-hit KO. I'm going to recover here because I don't want to risk a bad roll for us. I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse. Actually, wait. Okay, I was just about to check to see if I kill this Gyarados. A Gyarados, these offensive Dragon Dance set, our Psyshock has a chance to kill right now. It looks like it's 50%. If he's defensive, oh, he is defensive and he lives. He barely lives. That sucks. That really sucks. Here, I'm going to go out into Caesar. Because I really want to save this Latias. It does kill the Hydreigon. He goes for an Ice Fang. We live. I'm going to go for a Bullet Punch. He might seize this opportunity to go out into his Arcanine. He does not. It's pretty nice for us. So I'm gonna real quick check how much Arcanine takes from a defensive Arcanine takes from a Shaman Life Orb with Earth Power. And Earth Power Life Orb does 67 to like 80%. Here he goes out into his Manectric. I'm gonna go for a Roost, predicting him to Volt Switch or something. He discharges. He gets the Para, but we live. That's all right for us. He goes for the Flamethrower here. I'll take it. Here, I'm gonna go out into my Shaman, and I'm gonna go for an Earth Power. We did just see the Flamethrower, but I'm confident that we can live the Flamethrower. and I think we'll live. And we have a nice potential to kill. Shaman is our endgame sweeper. He goes for the Volt Switch. Kind of sucks. Hopefully he goes out and do his Arcanine. That would be best case scenario. He doesn't. He goes out into his Hydreigon. We know it's specs, so we know we will outspeed. And here I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. Um, so this should be a dead Hydreigon. So he did 23 23% on his Volt Switch. I'm gonna check to see if that tells us anything. Uh, it tells us he's not timid. He is max special attack modest. He is a modest nature. Which means we will outspeed him with Jolteon. Our Jolteon will actually outspeed. I'm going for Dazzling Gleam. No predicts. Don't need to predict. And because we saw the Manectric, I don't know why. This has Flamethrower doing less damage than HP Ice. He switches out into his T-Dog. Right here, I'm going to go out into my... I think I should just go out into my Latias. And I'll recover up on it. I don't think I would kill the Arcanine at all. So... I guess he just made the double predict to get out into his Arcanine. Without having to eat an Earth Power. That was actually a very good move on him. He might go for the Crunch onto my Latias. I don't know. I think that might be good. Shaman. I don't understand why wouldn't HP... A flamethrower I think does like 65 to 70%. I'm gonna go back to this. He goes for the Flare Blitz. That's fine for us. We eat it up. We'll go for the recover. We live the extreme speed barely. He did have the extreme speed. So that's gonna force him to switch out, maybe into his Clefable. But we know his Clefable really can't touch us at all. Clefable gets completely walled by the Latias. And I think the rest of our team has the damage to kill it where it's at. So right here, I'm not sure what he can do to this Latias. It looks like extreme speed and Flare Blitz will be his strongest moves against us. But Flare Blitz hurts him. He doesn't have that many extreme speeds. He can't just go around wasting them. We outspeed his Hydreigon, so we will kill it. If he switches out into his Manectric, I think our Latias might be able to 2-hit KO it. Um, so our Latias, so the Dragon Pulse will be our strongest move, and it does 42 to 50%. So it looks like we are set up pretty nice to win the game. He does switch out right here. I'm gonna go for a Calm Mind because wait, actually, I'm not gonna go for a Calm Mind. I'm just gonna go straight up for a Dragon Pulse because I'm afraid of the discharge paralysis. He gets the paralysis, unfortunately. Um, I'm gonna go for another Dragon Pulse right here. Kind of sucks for us. Jolteon can. I think Jolteon can kill the Hydreigon with our Signal Beam. We get a Dragon Pulse off. I think this game is coming down pretty nice for us. He kills us with his Signal Beam. Here, I'm gonna go out into my Jolteon. I'm gonna go for my Signal Beam. Actually, I'm just gonna go for my Thunderbolt. He doesn't have Lightning Rod anymore. We are free to Thunderbolt away. If he switches out into his Hydreigon, we will kill it with a Signal Beam. If he goes out into his Arcanine, then we should do enough damage to hit it. Hopefully I did not calculate that wrong. On the Latias, his discharge did 16%. Looks like a low roll. If he was timid, it's in the range, so. Not really sure what he can do here, though, to our Jolteon that is Focus Sash. If he goes out into his Arcanine, I think I would just hard switch out into Manaphy. Go for the Scald. We can see he doesn't know, he's quite unsure what to do. I think he's trying to find a win condition. I don't really see a way that he can win. His Clefable might still be able to set up. But now that I know his set, I'm not that afraid. I can just Shaman kill him. Seed Flare, hopefully we could get drops. And yeah, this game, he switches out into his Hydreigon. We go for the Thunderbolt. It does enough. I don't really see a reason to not go for Thunderbolt. I'm just going to go for Thunderbolt again. It's enough to kill. He might go out into his Arcanine right here. As I said, if he does, which he does, I'm going to preserve this. I'm going to go out into my Manaphy. He goes for a Bulldoze. I'm gonna go for a Scald. Scald, I think, would kill the Arcanine. I'm not entirely sure because we are not naturally offensive. We are naturally especially defensive. He will outspeed us, which is unfortunate. If he goes into Clefable, I will go out into my Shaman. And it looks like we're just going to have Jolteon end the game for us. I don't think Jolteon kills the Arcanine. defensive. Yeah, we would not have killed it. So I think that was the good play. He does go into the Clefable. We do a large amount of damage off of our crit. Here, I'm going to go out into my Shaman. He has to Moonlight right here, which he does. I'm going to go for a Seed Flare. Depending on how specially defensive he was, we might be able to get the kill. Not really optimistic on that. We get really close. He dies to the burn. That's good enough. I think the Manectric does come in and kill us, but he goes out into his Arcanine instead. I'm gonna go for that nice Earth Power. I think that we have enough to kill. He might just go for an Extreme Speed, try and get some damage. But I don't really see that great of a way for him to win, especially with our Focus Astral Teon. So even if I did calc wrong, the Manectric will die. So yeah, it looks like you're if everything goes well, no crazy shenanigans, then it looks like we'll move to 6-1 going into playoffs. He goes out into his Manectric. I think he's basically conceded game. So this is going to be a 3-0 victory if we get the kill. And if we get this kill, then Adam would have to get a 6-0 victory in order to make it to the playoffs. We do get the kill. We beat C.MeaX 3-0. Yeah, we will go into the playoffs at the record of 6-1. We will be the number 1 seed, and most importantly, you will be able to trade him. And we will pick the trade in a moment. So I'll leave an annotation about right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is going to be one of the longer videos I've ever done. So yeah, but it came down to both of our teams. He had some nasty threats. I had some nasty threats. Not really sure what I want to take. I'm looking at that Mew. I'm looking at that Clefable. One of the two might be best. But like I said, I will leave an annotation, and I will leave the timestamp so you guys can skip the intro if you guys want. This is just me reminding myself in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed our pretty fantastic regular season. I think everything went really well. But most importantly, we gotta get hyped for playoffs. Let's do this. Hopefully Houston Teanamo can come out as the Season 1 GTL victors. We have tough competition. It looks like me and Night Spear have clinched. C.MeaX, if Adam does not 6-0 Night Spear, then C.MeaX will make playoffs. And Lev still has his battle as of the time when I did this. So I think Adam's going to miss playoffs, sadly. But oh well, that's just how cookie crumbles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the season. Hope you guys leave some comments down below. I really wish I had comments to respond to. So far, they've pretty much all been C.MeaX. So that's it for today. See you guys later.